Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing one of the Reddit daily challenges in Rust, and we're doing challenge number 354, and the challenge is to find the smallest possible sum of two factors of a product. And it's kind of a mathematical description, but it's all described pretty well on the Reddit page right here, which I will link in the description below. So essentially, if our product is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the smallest possible sum of two factors would be 838. So let's jump straight into some code, and I've pre-written some tests for this, so I'm just going to copy them in right now, like so, and essentially all the tests are taken from here. Alright, so let's start by writing this function, find sum of factors, and we're going to declare it above the main function, so find sum of factors. And for this function, we're going to take in one variable, and that variable is going to be called original, and that stands for the original number, and it's going to be of the U size, so either a U32 or a U64, and it's going to return a U size like so. Alright, so the factor can never be larger than the square root of the original product, and this is because that's the point where we start to repeat our previous numbers. So we can start by declaring a mutable square root, and that's going to be the original number, as a float 64, because if you want to use the square root function in Rust, you need to use a float. So we're going to just take the square root of that, and then we want to recast it back as a U size, so something like that. And then we're going to have a loop, because we want to loop through until we find the solution. So the smallest sum of factors is going to be the largest two factors below the square root of the original number. So if the original number modulo the square root is equal to 0, so essentially if there's no remainder, we're just going to break, because then we found the correct numbers, and otherwise we are going to do the square root equals to square root minus 1. And as hopefully you guys know, this is the same as square root minus equals 1. Alright, so this is essentially the solution, but we also of course need to return our two factors. So one of the factors is going to be the square root, so return the square root, and then we also want to return the original number. Sorry, there we go. The original number divided by the square root. Alright, so let's run some tests and see if we did this correctly. And we did. Hopefully you guys can see it here. Test result okay, 1 passed, 0 failed. Alright, so now we just gotta fix our main function. So I'm just going to do the same old let mute input equals string new, and then we're going to use the standard IO standard in function, and we're going to read line of the mutable input, and of course we got to expect failed to read line and semicolon like so, and then we're just going to let number, and that's going to be a U size, equal to the input, and then we're going to trim it and parse it like so, and then we gotta expect here, expect please type a number like so. Alright, so now all we gotta do is use our function up here. So let's change this to something like that. And then find sum of number. All right, that looks pretty good. So let's compile our code. And that looks better. So let's try 12, and that should return 7. And let's try 456, and that returns 43. So that was challenge number 354. So good luck and happy coding.